Welcome to my new show called All Things Sony. I had to clean up the actual channel. It was getting out of control with the gaming streams and stuff like that. I figured if somebody's going to actually come in and try to search for the actual content like this, then they're going to have a difficulty looking at all the hundreds of videos that I have for gaming streams. So I didn't want them to kind of, mix and cross-pollinate and stuff like that. The second thing I wanted to do is to create another YouTube channel. It's called All Games Sony. Basically, this whole ecosystem is going to be about Sony stuff. But I'm going to leave this particular channel to talk about the Gaming Pulpit series that I've been doing. All Things Sony, which is going to talk about the electronics. It's going to talk about the movie industry. Probably not the music industry really, because I don't even like any of the music as it stands, to be perfectly honest with you. But I figured I was going to do it that way, and have the All Games Sony. That channel is going to specifically be for, which it should be in the description as well. But that channel would be specifically for game streams and stuff like that. So it'd be nothing but game streams. And I'm going to clean up the channel a little bit further. So I'm thinking that, and maybe do a couple little different types of podcasts on All Games Sony. Maybe do it there, or maybe do it here. I'm not sure. So depending on how successful it is, I will basically swap back and forth to see what I want to do. But that's not what this video is about. I just wanted to let all the subscribers know, which is not that many, but all of the subscribers know that I won't be streaming games on the channel anymore. You would have to go to the All Games Sony. Yeah, All Games Sony. Yeah, that's what I have to think about how to put it. And I am working the things out. I'm still figuring it out as I go. What I wanted to talk about is this fucking Sony debacle, the Spider-Man Sony debacle. I'm not going to drag it out like Looper and everybody else that's been dragging this shit out. All I'm going to do is basically talk about, I feel like people haven't hit this point. They've kind of mentioned before what they thought, about the situation. A lot of people blame Sony specifically for the, pulling out of Spider-Man from the MCU, and it wasn't their fault. It was both of their agreement to actually, say that I want these deals, and I want this money, and I want this and stuff like that. There are a lot of people that have made very good points regarding it. At the end of the day, nobody that owns a business is going to allow from 5% to fucking from 5% to half of the proceeds, whether you're funding it or not. If you look at the MCU and all the Disney timeline and what they're planning on doing, fucking Sony's or Spider-Man is nowhere to be found in there really. So of course they want more money because of this. They want more money because they know that their Avengers arc is done. There's no more cameos that's needed because they basically, spoiler alert, they killed all the important characters. Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, even they neutered the fucking Hulk. So you don't have that many people left really. So they're creating another group of people, maybe the X-Men and stuff like that. The whole new cast that they can capitalize on. So that's really one of the issues. The other piece of this is Do you guys understand that Disney is a huge fucking company and you don't want huge companies doing things like this? You don't want them to have complete control over it? Do you guys like see what they're doing to Spider-Man and all of the Marvel characters? Do you see what they're doing? They're tweaking them for agenda purposes anyway. This has all been discussed online, but it's clear as day. You know, Kevin Feige specifically said that he wants more inclusion. Overall, I don't think it's necessary. You can't, like, for the instance, the Bond film. Somebody wanted to make him a black character. That's not how it was created. Now you make a new character if you want to do that. You know what I mean? With those particular powers. Don't fucking take an existing IP or character and change it to fit whatever group of people that you're trying to get, that you're trying to fit. It's dumb to me to do it that way. Spider-Man was never fucking meant to be in this galactic, you know, service, whatever the fuck they're doing. It just kind of devalues the other villains. You know what I mean? It devalues his struggle in life when he has to do all this. How do you go from going out in fucking space to just living a regular life? It doesn't make any sense. And I don't understand how people can't see that shit. That makes no sense. How do you do it? You might as well, after you did all this shit, you might as well just pack your shit, stop going to school, and go straight to fucking what, SHIELD or SWORD or whatever the fuck the group is. It's dumb. It's dumb. You know, you can't go from fighting Thanos to Morbius. You know, it's to me, I'm actually ecstatic. I love the fact that Sony has pulled that character from the MCU. I don't like it. I don't like what they're doing with the characters as it stands. It's fucking stupid to me. It's dumb. I'm glad it's over. There's been rumors about Marvel actually reapproaching Sony again, going back to the bargaining table. I hope that shit doesn't, you know, fly. Because it takes away what I like about Spider-Man. Spider-Man was that relatable superhero that had bills and he had girl issues and, you know what I mean? And he had family issues and stuff like that. And if you're fighting shit in space, you're not thinking about any of those things. It's not a whole thing. You know, he doesn't do the whole quips that he used to do. I mean, he did it a couple of times in the Avengers portion. Oh, like we're using our made-up names and stuff like that. And then when it's just like the new Far From Home movie was such a Debbie Downer. It was a good movie, but it was such a Debbie Downer the way that they structured everything. I'm like, what is this shit? Like, it was just so dumb. I mean, Mysterio, they kind of captured him, but everything is centered around Iron Man. I get what he did, and I want to talk about that too. Really, what kickstarted all these superhero movies to show how prosperous it was is Sony. When they made the first Spider-Man, and it did all of those gangbanging or busting numbers. You know, I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know what people are thinking. It was actually Sony that built up all these movies, and then it was Fox that followed up with it with a damn good X-Men movie. And then all of a sudden, people pretend like none of those movies happened. X-Men 1 and 2, Spider-Man 1 and 2, and then even Into the Spider-Verse. None of that shit happened because of the sake of MCU. The continuity for the MCU is ass anyway. You know, there's a lot of timeline issues. There's a lot of stuff that they've changed that, I guess for time constraints, they couldn't do what they wanted to do. And so, like, for instance, the Thanos arc has nothing to do with snapping half of the people because he wants to balance the world. He wanted to actually impress Death herself. And that's nowhere to be found, and people would just be like, oh, okay, well, it was funny, and it was, you know, it had high production values and stuff like that, so, I mean, MCU, yay, I see Iron Man, I like, Chris Evans, yay, you know, Captain America and shit like that. There was only, to me, in my humble opinion, there's the Winter Soldier, and the first Iron Man that the MCU was pretty serious. Like, I like those movies. And Doctor Strange, I like that too, but still with continuity issues. And then you have the audacity to say that, oh, okay, Sony doesn't know how to make a good Spider movie. They made 3 good Spider-Man movies, and then they made 3 bad ones. And I can't even say that Spider-Man 3 was a bad movie. I can't even say it was. It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a bad movie. Okay, why is he dancing like that? The director had a specific reason as to why. He was totally disjointed from everything else. And that's why he was, in his head, he was thinking that he was cool shit. But if you look at it, everybody that was looking at him was like, what the fuck is, what? Who is this dude? So, I mean, it was deliberate. It was deliberate. Actually, I think that fucking, is this? Oh shit, that's right. Alright. Here we go. Because I don't think, there we go. Sorry, my laptop was dying and I didn't want it to shut off when I was making this video. I've never used the video features, and it's, whatever. I'm not really fighting it, but I mean, this video is really about the rant, about how people just, they glorify the MCU as if it was the best thing. And it's funny, yes, you can go by the money that they make. Yeah, they made a lot of money. They definitely made a lot of money. But I feel like there's people trying to, I thought there was something there. I feel like there was people trying to take their kids to see stuff that they used to watch back in the day. You know what I mean? That was their reasoning for it, But other than that, people don't have anything to do anyway. People don't want to go out anymore as it is. They just want to fucking text and social media and Netflix and chill and, I just want to go home and sleep. I've seen a t-shirt for a chick. Oh, my favorite hobby is sleeping. That's not cute. But I digress from now. Oh, shit. Either way, let me just double check some of the notes that you can see I have a Sony phone, by the way, but let me just double check on the notes that I wanted to kind of lay out. I think I've covered most of them. There's one little thing that I wanted to talk about, which I think I'm good with this. And once again, the channel is still going through some motions and stuff like that. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with how I'm going to do it. It's rough. It's a rough transition. I deleted all of the videos and shit like that. So I know. But anyway, so the big elephant in the room, because it looks like the D13 that they had going on, there's no Spider-Man there. But the big elephant in the room is there was a huge cliffhanger for Spider-Man, Far From Home. And how would you address that big fucking issue? You know what I mean? It's possible that Sony and Disney, Marvel, will make a agreement. They don't really have the characters in there, but at least cover that. Let's fix that whole situation that the whole story that they wrote themselves into, that you really can't seemingly get out of. So, in general, and I'll say spoiler alert, because there is something I want to talk about with this as well. As you know, Peter's identity was revealed at the end of Spider-Man. And it's like, if they're not going to make these Spider-Man movies, which Sony has 2 more to do, with Tom Hardy, what's his name? With the original, whatever it is, Tom. Let's say Tom. I forgot his last name. I want to say Hardy, but that's not the right Tom. But the funny thing is, Sony actually picked that Spider-Man. So, and it was a different Spider-Man that was supposed to be chosen from the MCU. And it's funny how people just keep giving fucking Disney and Marvel credit where Sony actually built this character up and picked him. But yeah, so I only see 2 ways of dealing with this. The first way would be obviously him getting ripped from that universe to the Venomverse or whatever, the Spider-Verse, whatever Sony has going on there, and then start anew. But in the process of him getting ripped from that universe to another, the original Peter Parker from that universe dies. And then Aunt May, which is the older Aunt May, is like, okay, where the hell were you, you know? And it's just this guy that just there, he's dead, but like he looks exactly like that particular Peter Parker. I don't fucking know. The other way that they can do it is continue on what they're doing, but have Sony offer Disney money to just don't have the actors in there, but just use their name so they can close that arc when they pull him from that universe. You know what I mean? Say something like Iron Man. Don't say, you know what I mean, Stark or whatever the case. Just mention the name and see how that will work. Because, I mean, there's the only two options, really, or reboot it, and you know they're not going to do another fucking reboot. That's definitely not going to happen. But, I mean, honestly, I'm excited that he's been pulled. I was so tired of the fucking Iron Man Jr. situation. And then it's funny too, like if they do pull him from that universe to this one, then Spider-Man or that Peter Parker would have to start building his own equipment anyway, which would tie into how I wanted it to work in the first place. Spider-Man is a super smart dude, and then they had Iron Man doing all this shit for him, which Iron Man was beyond a genius. And you know, they really gassed him up, kind of like what they did to what do you call him again, Quicksilver. In the Fox version of X-Men, he was never that quick, never. So, I mean, they gassed him up. They gassed Iron Man up, really, really, and I get why. I get it. But it's like, so Iron Man was also smart, and he had his own shit too. And with this universe, like I said before, maybe he'll have to try to, you know, pull himself into this new universe. You see what I'm saying? And then not pull himself into the new universe, but like build his own shit from scratch and stuff like that, and have to, you know, deal with that old ass Aunt May, or maybe they're going to use all the original actors. I don't know, but whatever it is, most likely it's going to be a darker tone, and I fucking love it. I don't like any of the MCU's lighthearted tones just to get a cash. You know, I know Disney does that, but they obviously want money, and that's what they're doing it for. So it's like, oh, Disney, fuck it, I hate this company. I don't like them. They're so annoying. I don't like them as a company. It's like, they're so shitty, I swear. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about this video and this turn. I don't think I'm streaming games on that channel anymore, on this channel anymore. It's going to be on the other one. You can find it in the description. But let me know what you think about this format. It's going to be longer, and this video specifically is longer than what the new videos are going to be. Only due to the fact that I have to introduce everybody to this particular new show, all things Sony, and do it that way. I don't want people to think that I'm like leaving the channel or whatever like that, but I'll do it that way in order to make things work out. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right, so I can, you know, actually create a better platform, and we'll see where it goes from there. But lastly, I'm sorry, I'm making this shit like run. Like I said, I'm gonna be tackling the electronics that includes the phones and everything else with the TVs and stuff like that. I won't really, well, yeah, and then PlayStation, but that will be on the gaming pulpit, and unless it's like the minutia of the equipment, and then the Sony movie and probably music. The movies and music will probably go along with it. So it'll be the electronics, the movies, and then the actual PlayStation itself. Anyway, that'll do it for me. Peace.